Hi everyone. In this video, we are going to deal with exponential equations. This term might be new to you, but you have dealt with kind of a preliminary question in class 8 from NCERT where it was like 5 to the power m equated with something and you had to find that m. Okay. Now, when you are having a power of variable and you are supposed to find its value, it is actually called an exponential equation. Okay. You should be aware of the term. Now, in this video, we are going to deal with such questions that I have all written on the screen. So these are the questions that we will be dealing. Along with that, there is a highly important question that we will be dealing at the end. It's a surprise. So do watch the video till the end to see all the questions that how they are going to be done and to understand the last highly valued question, because many schools who are actually make the paper with a little challenging questions, they kind of give that question to you. Okay, so let's start now. The first one, 5 to the power x minus 2 into 3 to the power 2x minus 3 equals 135. We are supposed to find the value of x. That is simple over here. But how to do it? First, we will prime factorize 135. Okay, what is 135? It's a number ending with 5, so I will start dividing with 5. And that gives me 2 and 7. Now, 27 means it is 3 cube. Because see, this prime factorization is not a part of your fair work. I don't need to write each and every term. So I'm just doing it in a shortcut. Now, what we will do, we will write the left hand side as it is 5 to the power x minus 2 into 3 to the power 2x minus 3 equal 135 can be written as 5 into 3 cube. This is what we got, right? After this step, what I'm going to do, I'm going to pair things. Pair as in, this is 5 on the left, this is 5 on the left. I'm going to equate them. And similarly, I'm going to equate this 3 and the 3 on the right. So let's start pairing. Okay, first I am pairing 5 to the power x minus 2 equals 5. In between, we will write and then 3 to the power 2x minus 3 equals 3 cube. Okay. Now, why are we doing? Because we have on the left hand side, we have an expression which is in terms of 5 and 3, they are being multiplied. And on the right also, we got in a similar manner where 5 and 3 are being multiplied, having their own respective powers. So we are equating the same basis such that we can solve for x. Now, what is the power for 5 on the right? That is 1. Now, when we get the base same, we have to equate the powers. Over here, you can write since bases are same, therefore equating the powers. Okay. Now, so x minus 2 equals 1. This was for when we equated 5. And similarly, when we equate for 3, we have 2x minus 3 equals 3. Right? So what we get? X equals 1 plus 2, that is 3. And on this side, what we have? 2x equals 6, x equals 3. So now you saw whether you solve for 5 or whether you solve for 3. The answer is same, and therefore we can conclude at the end that x equals 3. I hope it's clear, right? Now let's move on to the second question. What we have over here, fifth root of 5x plus 2 equals 2. Okay, now if I write 5x plus 2 as 1 by 5, it means the same thing, right? Initially in the question, you had got a root. Now what I have converted that root into a radical form by writing it as 1 by 5. There is hardly any difference over here. But it is not going to help us that I can't do anything, because see over here, if you have learned the identity so far for squares, right, and for cubes, but Doing this question, I don't know how to deal with a power of 5 or 1 by 5. So what I'm going to do, over here, you are going to transpose the power. And when we transpose the power, what happens? If we have a root on one side and it goes to the other side, it becomes that power, in the sense 1 by 2 becomes square on the other side, 1 by 3 becomes cube on the other side, and similarly over here 1 by 5 will become 5 on the other side. So let's do that. We have 5x plus 2 equals 2 to the power 5, right? 1 by 5 went to the right side. So 5x plus 2 equals 32. 2 to the power 5 is 32. Now we have just a simple equation. So we get 5x equals 32 minus 2. 5x equals 30. And therefore, x comes out to be 30 divided with 5, that is 6. And we got our value. So this is how you deal with such a question. See, when we talk about maths, it is not necessary that you will have same question in your paper. Teachers can change that. If I write something over here, I give a power of 7, that is absolutely fine. We can just, in the same manner, instead of 1 by 5 or taking 1 by 7, we will take 7 over there and we will have 2 to the power 7. And similarly, things can be changed. But to understand these questions, it gives you an sense that yes, these are the ways, these are the steps that how you have to work on such questions. Okay. Now the next one, what we have over here is rational numbers, right? Having their own respective powers. And similarly on the right side, we have a power base as rational number 3 by 4, having a power of a variable. So let's start working on it. 3 by 4, having a power of 3. Now, the second base is 4 by 3, which is actually a reciprocal of 3 by 4. And if you see, it was having a negative power. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do the reciprocal of this one, and I'm going to convert the power into a positive one. So it becomes 3 by 4 to the power 7 equals 3 by 4 to the power 2x. Now we can see all the bases are same in all the three brackets, 2 on the left and 1 on the right. So we are going to add the powers on the left, and that will become 10 equals 3 by 4 to the power 2x. Again, we have got the same bases, so we will equate the powers. Same base, hence equating power. And therefore, I get 10 equals 2x. Now, that means I got my value of x, which is 5. I divided 10 with 2, and hence the value of x comes out to be 5. Easy peasy. Now, the next one. Guys, this is almost on the similar grounds as we had started with the first question, where we had two different bases, 5 and 3, and on the right hand side we had 135. It is absolutely similar. Okay, I'm giving you a break, giving you some time to think quickly that how to do it, and then I will start working on it. Did you think? So let's start. We have 5 to the power x minus 3 into 3 to the power 2x minus 8. Now, what is 225? 225 is 15 square, right? And what is 15? 15 is 3 into 5. 15 square means I can simplify that and write it as 3 into 5 square. So this becomes 3 square into 5 square, right? Now, in the similar manner as we had dealt in the first question, I am going to equate the same bases. So 5 with 5 and 3 with 3. Okay, so let's start writing it. We have 5 to the power x minus 3 equals 5 square, And we will be writing for 3 also. 3 to the power 2x minus 8 equals 3 square. Okay. Now, same basis, equate powers. Okay. Now, when we equate the power for 5, what we get is x minus 3 equals to, and when we equate the power for 3, what we get? 2x minus 8 equals 2. Okay. So, we get x equals 2 plus 3, which is 5 on the left. And on the right, we will have 2x equals 2 plus 8, that is 10, and x equals 5. So we just saw that in this question as well, when we had two different bases and upon equating the powers, we got the same answers, right? So therefore, x equals 5, right? Here we have dealt with 4 questions, and now the fifth one, which has 3 to the power 3x into 3 to the power 3x over 3 to the power x. Guys, there is a dot over here. It means when we are dealing with exponents, and you will say that in further geometry also, when you are multiplying certain things, you will see usage of dot instead of a cross for multiplication. Okay, so do not get confused with decimal. This is not a decimal, but a dot representing multiplication. Okay, now what we have? We have got the same base 3 on the left, and if you see, we have the same base 3 on the right also. So we'll start working on the left. 3 to the power 3x plus 3x minus x. What I did, I added the powers that we had for the bases in the numerator and subtracted the power from the denominator base. On the right, I'm going to simplify it a bit. What we have, 3 to the power 20, and we have got 4th root. So I can write it as 1 by 4 outside, right? Now, 3x plus 3x, 6. 6 minus 1 is 5. So we have 3 to the power 5x equals. Now, this 20 and this 4 cancels, and we get 3 to the power 5. Same base, equate powers. So, what we have is 5x equals 5, and therefore x equals 1. Easy. These questions are pretty easy. They all are like 2 markers and really scoring. You just need to understand how to solve them. Okay, so now here we come with the star portion, which I said. And guys, this question is actually somewhat longer, but you can deal it with very confidently if you practice it multiple times. So let's start doing it. The question says 9 to the power n into 3 square into 3 to the power minus n by 2, and outside we have a minus 2 over here. Then we have got a subtraction 27 to the power n. This is numerator. Divided with 3 to the power 3n into 2 cube equals 1 by 27. We are supposed to prove that m minus n equals 1. We can see there are multiple things, but majorly what we have, everything is with respect to 3 as your base, except one term, which is 2 cube. Okay. However, we'll just see how to deal with this. I'm going to convert 9, 27 and all that as 3 with a base. So we can write 9 as 3 square, and we have another n. So I can write it as 3 to the power 2n, because n and 2 got multiplied. Then we have 3 square into 3 to the power minus n by 2 into minus 2. The power inside and the outside got multiplied, minus 3 cube, and we had n, so they are multiplied, over 3 to the power 3n into 2 cube. I'm writing it as it is as of now, equals 1 by 27. It is not a proving question in the sense यहाँ पे हमें LHS equals to RHS नहीं करना, right? We don't have to do LHS equals to RHS. So we have to write 1 by 27 because we need to get an expression out of it with respect to M and N. We need 1 by 27 to work along. Okay. So that is why I am writing it. Now let's start working on the numerator. We have so many terms of 3 over here. So I'm going to add up these powers. And this gives me 3 to the power 2n plus 2. These two got cancelled and we get plus n into 3 to the power 3n over 3 to the power 3n into 2 cube equals 1 by 27. One important thing, if you had seen, I'm writing this quotient by taking a lot of space, बहुत खुला खुला लिख रही हूँ, right? The reason being, when there are multiple things to be done, please take good space to write for your maths questions. Do not be miser in writing. कई बच्चों को मैंने देखा है बहुत चिपका चिपका के लिखते हैं, पावर्स आपके पिछले वाले स्टेप के बेस से क्लैश कर जाती हैं, ओवर राइटिंग एग्जिस्ट करती है. डू नॉट राइट लाइक दैट. इवन व्हाइल यू आर प्रैक्टिसिंग, डू नॉट डू दैट. बिकॉज टीचर्स को अगर कंफ्यूजन होती है पेपर चेक करने के लिए, आपको मार्क्स मिलने में प्रॉब्लम होगी. एंड मोर ओवर इट डजंट लुक गुड. यार पेपर कर रहे हो, ठीक से करो, राइट प्रॉपरली, टेक स्पेस. ओके. नाउ what we get over here is 2n plus n gives me 3 to the power 3n. Okay, not into, but we have plus 2, right? Into 3 to the power 3n over 3 to the power 3n into 2 cube. Let me write it properly. Equals 1 by 27. कितना बड़ा सा एक्सप्रेशन था in the beginning, and we have reduced it to such a small expression, right? Now we are going to simplify this further. Before I do anything, just see what we have. We have 3 to the power 3n over here. 3 to the power, oh sorry, it was supposed to be a subtraction, right? So now what we have, 3 to the power 3n over here, 3 to the power 3n over here. That means not in the immediate next step, but after that, I'm going to take out 3 to the power 3n as a common factor. But before I take that out as a common factor, we need to do one thing over here, and let's do that. It is going to be 3 to the power 3n. It was plus 2 over there, right? So that means I'm going to multiply 3 square. I'm just writing it separately, because when we take out as a common factor, it becomes easier to understand what we are left with. Over, we had 3 to the power 3m into 2 cube equals 1 by 27, right? Now, as I said, we will be taking out 3 to the power 3n as a common factor. So doing that leaves me with 3 square minus 1 over 3 to the power 3n into 2 cube equals 1 by 27. Now, what we have over here is same base having different powers. So we are going to subtract the powers, right? This gives me 3 to the power 3n minus 3m. In the bracket, 3 square is 9. 9 minus 1 is 8. In the denominator, we were left with 2 cube. And what is 2 cube? That is 8. So 8 got cancelled. We are left with equals to 1 by 27. Now, on the left, we are having 3 out and n minus m equals, now 27 means 3 cube, and it is in the denominator. So when I take that 3 cube on top, it will become 3 to the power minus 3, right? And why am I doing it? Because at this stage, I need to equate the powers. The bases are same already. I need to equate the powers. And now I will write same base equate powers, right? So let's quickly just wind up with this question now. What we have is 3 to the power n minus n. I'm just equating the powers. This is what we are left with. Now we can see 3 and 3 got cancelled. I am left with n minus n equals minus 1. And what was the question? The question wanted to prove m minus n equals 1. So we are just going to convert. I'll take this negative on the left and this negative comes here, leaves 1 on the right. So when I open the bracket on the left, it gives me m minus n equals 1 because m turned positive and n negative. Hence the final expression. Here we will be writing hence proved. Told you in the beginning of doing this question that yes, it is little longer. However, there are fixed steps that you have to understand how to do it carefully. And once you do it once or twice, you will gain the momentum, and believe me, you will be able to do it on your own. So do practice such questions as they will really help you to crack your exam and score full. Happy learning!